All right, guys, welcome back to the Crit Hit Wild character review section of our podcast. I'm your host, Jared. Joined with me is Fred and Brandon, and a special guest, Borka,
Whoop,
to
whoop.
take a look at Red Guardian. So let's get right into it. We have Red Guardian, aka Nikolai Krylenko. I think I actually did that right.
Think you did.
He is 5 health, a medium mover, size 2, 3 threat, with a 3/3/4 stat block. He has a range 2, 5 dice regular physical strike, but this one is a flat 1 power builder. And after the attack is resolved, if the target character is size 3 or less, push the target character away short. No trigger on that. Just you make the attack, you get the size 3 push. He has the range 4 shield throw that is similar to Sam Wilson or Captain America. No, this is actually similar to Captain America, excuse me. After the attack is resolved, this character gains 1 power. After this attack ignores line of sight. Defending character does not benefit from cover with the wild ricochet, so after it's resolved, you can make another one, and you have to target a character within 3 of the original target. Then he has the Siberian Shield Slam Spender. It's range 2, 6 dice, 3 power cost. If the target character is size 3 or less, after the attack is resolved, it may be thrown short. He's pretty slim on the superpowers. He just has a reactive, focused repulsion field. Cost 2. When this character is targeted by a physical or energy attack, it may use a superpower. This character adds blanks in the defense roll to its total successes. And then he has Red Guardian Suit. When this character is damaged by an enemy or allied effect, after the effect is resolved, if this character is not dazed, it gains 1 power. So anytime you hit him, if you don't knock him out, he gains the power of you hurting him, and then he gains an additional one on top. On his flip side, he goes up 1 stam, so he goes to a 6 stam character. So, yeah. What do we think about Red Guardian? Borka, let's start with you.
You gonna start with me? I feel like I'm gonna be very enthusiastic. Do you want to start on the high note and then go into the down notes, or
Well, I'll go to the down note and then I'll go last and I'll maybe try to just pick us back up just a little bit, level us out. So,
gotcha? A little bit about me. My favorite Thor four threat model in the game is probably Black Panther. I would say that I have easily played more Wakanda than anybody at our friendly local game store. Is that or LGS? Is that what you call it?
correct.
Um, Thank you. I really cannot understate or overstate, right? The power of his strike. That is so strong. I mean that is what makes Black Panther just so good. And to have this on a three threat model, now he doesn't move long, I get that and everything, but he's three threat. Is super awesome. It's really good. You look at the top two winning factions on Longshanks, and it is Web Warriors followed up by Wakanda, and they're all about movement shenanigans that you can't counter. You cannot counter this. It's going to happen. He doesn't have to hit a wall. So right off the bat, I really love him. I think 334 is a nice stat line. 5 and 6 is really good for a three threat model. He's got the nice shield. So it's like turn one, you can usually move up and get a ricochet shot off. So get him an extra power right there if you're lucky. Um, and so I think he'll always have power, especially when you look at Red Guardian's suit, to use his Siberian Shield Slam, which is another awesome ability. Just to be able to throw a size 3 is just really good. And then I one thing I'll say too with Focus Repulsor Field, I think he'll have the power to use it most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time. I think you have to account for Crimson Dynamo and Darkstar. They both have defensive tech, and I think him kind of spearheading out there in front of them is you're going to be able to pick and choose. Now, not mystic attacks, right? But you'll be able to kind of time it if you have a hard physical or energy hit coming in. You can pop his repulsor field. You can have Dynamo make him reroll too. You can have Darkstar buff his defense. So I really like Red Guardian a lot. I think he's very splashable too. I see myself taking him all the time as a a versatile three threat. Just having a guy that can move people is really great. So I'm real high on him. I am actually pretty high on the faction overall, and I think that Dynamo Guardian and Dark Star together at 10 threat. I really like that core. I think that they've got a lot of nice synergy, and just having that auto move on a 3 threat, I'm a big fan.
All right, nice. What about you, Fred? What do you think?
Uh, I'm 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 not as high on him as Borka is. I love that he has an auto push. Like an auto push on a gainer is is really good. uh, and he's got so he could auto push someone with an initial attack and then hit him with a ricochet or hit him with the shield throw. And that the spender being a throw, an automatic throw, is also really good. And this is all on a 3 point person. Uh, for his defensive tech, I mean, being able to count blanks is super strong. That's really a useful ability, but it costs 2 power. And this guy, he's gonna be power hungry. The his suit effect, the thing where he gets an additional power every time he takes damage, is a really nice ability, but he doesn't have a proper builder on him. Uh, am I right? Yeah,
You are correct.
because that's a gainer. So I'm he's gonna generate power, and he's gonna spend it as quick as he's generating it. I like him. I think there's some cool stuff on here. I'm worried that he's just. I'm not as high on this faction as Borka is. This faction just doesn't play the way that I like to play, and
Not enough attack dice in there for Fred.
yeah, it's not. I want to punch. I want to hit. And this guy, he works probably very well in the faction. That's what I'll say. And I guess I'll pass it on to whomever's next.
All right, Brandon, over to you. What do you think?
I'm not very high on the faction. I do think he is the glue that's going to hold this faction together. I mean, I don't think you can play this
I'm
faction.
Dynamo. Excuse me.
Well, you have to play him. He's the leader.
And he's amazing.
He's good, yeah. I mean, it's just like
He's glue. He's sugar. He's flour. Continue. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt.
But this 3 model core, it just really sucks because the big bear is the one you're probably not taking very often or probably playing all that often. I do like that uh, it's another really good small affiliation that you can splash really easily. Because up to this point, really Wakanda's like the only one that you can really splash like super easy. Where they have a 9 point core, right? Like,
Web Warriors too. They have a pretty much a 9 core.
yeah, but Web Warriors kind of has, they have more models that they can choose from to build it. Like with this affiliation, you really have 3 models that you want to play all the time, and you can splash those models have enough utility that you can splash those almost in any roster with any other affiliation and feel comfortable about it. With Web Warriors, you really kind of want to more build around them. They splash pretty easily too, but it just feels like those are kind of the ones where you don't feel bad. Kind of like with Web Warriors, if you're like, oh, I really want Venom or like Moon Knight and stuff. So it's like there's odd ones out.
I get
Not
what
saying
you're
it's bad.
saying. It's a smaller force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you
That
don't have
makes
to
sense.
worry, and you don't have to worry about like, you don't have to worry about like, oh well, I don't have him or I don't have them. It's like, oh, these are
Right.
the 3 models I want. They're 3 good models. I don't have to worry about anything else, and I think they're going to be solid together, and good affiliations. Because I think of most lists, when you're building an affiliated list, you have like a good 7 models that you really want. So you really have 3 splashable models most of the time for most really good list. Some are like anywhere from 3 to 4 models, and I think these are good. It just sucks that the big bear is the one that you're not gonna play. Um, but Red Guardian, yeah, Red Guardian's good. Uh, he's got good defenses, above average defenses for a 3 point model. He's right there on health for a 3 point model. not having a true builder is what it is. It seems like that's becoming more common. Like they're kind of, it's like every other character doesn't have a builder. I The limitations on his push and throw just being size 3 is, I feel like that had to be a thing. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah, that's mandatory.
yeah, that's very mandatory. I actually think he has the best power economy of anybody in Winter Guard that we've seen. That's been kind of one of the big hiccups with a lot of them. Like Dark Star, it feels like you're never gonna have enough energy to do everything she wants to do. Dynamo might be okay, just depending on the affiliations, but he's one that you might run into a couple times. But I think this model has the best kind of power economy. It would have been nice if he would have had like a bodyguard or something. Um, Even if it was like bad bodyguard, I just don't
Right.
know.
That
I
was
don't know how
surprising.
I don't
Yeah.
know how that contributes. He may not be that kind of leader in the comics. I don't know enough about Winter Guard to
Mhm.
really know if that's part of the thing. But I think it's fine. I think he kind of flip. I don't think this affiliation is going to see a ton of play. I think it's going to be kind of middling. But I do think they complement certain. I think they complement like Web Warriors really well. Like I think it's a 3-point splash. If you want to play them, you can make a really good list with them in it.
Okay. Well,
That's all I got.
uh,
I think he would also splash great into Wakanda.
yeah, you're probably right.
I can't wait to give you guys my 10-man roster.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's good. Um, I mean, again, it's already kind of been stamped in, but anytime that you can just free move a size 3 character or smaller is it's just incredible. Um, I think to Brandon's point that his power economy isn't too bad. I've played Sin a few times, and she has a similar ability to Red Guardian suit, where when she takes damage from an enemy or allied, she gains a power at the end of it. She has piss poor health on her healthy side, but I usually have quite a bit of power on her, so it's that ability is actually really relevant. Um,
That 4 health though is so fucking aggravating
no,
to
yeah,
think
it's
about.
terrible. I don't know why they did that. That's terrible for a leader. But anyways, um, so I think that his power economy will be okay. I understand why he doesn't have like shields up or anything like that because again, Dark Star, like they already have defensive tech to Borka's point on some of the other characters. So if he had too much, he would be very hard to take down. I do wish that he had bad bodyguard. It
Yeah.
would kind of like do a little bit of a play on like what Captain America's like, but like just a little bit different, kind of similar to Crimson Dynamo and like Tony Stark. Like they had some similarities. I wish that he did have that. I feel like that would be really good for the faction because you have 50% of your faction playing very up front, and you have the other 50% hanging back pretty far. I think Bad Bodyguard would have really kind of it really probably would have taken him to like a new level for me, but as he stands right now, I think that he's just a good quality three threat. I think that what he does very efficiently. Yeah, I mean, I think that overall he's just a decent character. Excuse me.
I think his that suit, to touch on what you said, I think it's really good against judgment and stun too. It you
Oh
can
yeah.
judge him and stun him, and he still stays pretty power efficient. So yeah, it's a strong
Uh,
ability.
all right.
Huh.
Yeah, you're right.
Huh.
So I guess we can move on to giving him our rating. I'm probably going to just give him. Oh shit! I'm so torn between the two. I'm gonna wait a second, see if somebody else can sway me. Why don't you start, Brandon? We'll go counterclockwise this time.
Yeah, I guess I'll stick. I was gonna give him. I was gonna give him a B minus, but I think I'm closer to the B. I think I've been talked into a solid. I think he's a solid B character.
All right. What about you, Fred?
I think that I was gonna give him a gentleman's B, and I think that I've been talked into a B plus.
Oh, okay.
We're mobile today.
All right, Borka.
Do you guys have S tier? Is that a thing?
We do have S tier.
We do have S tier.
No, I don't think he's an S, but I do think he's an A. Like I said, I love what Panther does, and just the thought of like, Panther on one side of the board and him on the other. You put him into the right character, and I think he can really just control a point for you for days. And I at 3 threat, good stats. I think he's splashable, and I think he's mandatory in Winter Guard, and I think you can splash him into a lot of factions to get what he brings. So I think he's a solid A.
All right. All right. I think I'm just gonna go with just a standard B. I was torn between B minus or B after hearing everybody else. I think a B is probably fine for him. Yeah. So all in all, a decent character. Pretty above average. Regards.
Only 2 characters have got the S rating so far.
One's Malekith. What was the other one?
Baron Zemo. is the
Baron
other character
Zemo. That's
for
right. Yeah,
Stage
my
House.
boy. Both Cabal characters. How crazy is that?
Weird, because the rest of the Cabal characters, I'm pretty sure, have averaged a solid like D to an F.
Modoc's an A.
Well, we haven't done MODOK yet, but yes.
We haven't got to MODOK. yet.
MODOK. I don't know. I might put well. Anyway, that's for another episode. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah. So
Fred's gonna shoot me if we can.
Speaking of S tier, you guys gotta have me on when you do Black Panther.
absolutely, we'd love to have you on, sir.
I don't
Well-
think we could. I don't think we could do Black Panther without having you on. Honestly, any of Wakanda, I think we would. I don't think we would survive.
I mean,
if we didn't.
Black
bring you on.
Panther and Hulk. I mean, that's just like a staple, right?
That's true.
And She-Hulk.
That's 10 points in the game.
The amount of times I've seen that stupid She-Hulk punching GIF in our chat is disturbing. Well,
It's a weekly occurrence at the very least.
yeah, it's at least once a
Tell
week.
you, she's gonna be good against Malekith. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you,
heck.
dude, until you roll 10 blanks and a shield.
What did I tell you? Not me, but people that can roll dice will do well with it. Not me.
But
I
Jared
just-
won't play She-Hulk.
That's true.
Nah, I probably won't be playing She-Hulk. All right, well,
Yeah,
I
sure.
think some people have some rosters that they would like to talk about. So I'm actually going to start with mine, if that's okay. It's a
Yeah.
little bit of a meme, but I'd like to play him in Avengers with Sam, Steve,
Oh yeah.
and this guy just going around being pains in the ass.
Yeah.
And probably Black Panther. What is that? 4-8, not to 11. That's 14 points right there of fuck
That's
you,
good.
get off the point.
Yeah.
So
And he's
yeah.
good in both of those affiliations, like both those leaderships. Like 1 point for focus, repulsor field is sexy, and then he's like an ideal Sam Avenger. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He fits the whole criteria. Yeah, I love it.
I'm a big fan of that. Play him on Mutant Madmen, play him on Sword, play those 4 characters on Sword. I think it would probably be pretty decent. And they're all going to be tanky. They're all going to be not mobile, but they're going to have a huge footprint on the board because you're constantly going to be shield throwing with 3 different characters. So you just have and Sam's also pushes size 2 if you do damage. So it's just going to be a little bit silly. Yeah. That's my roster. Who would like to go next?
I can go next.
Go ahead,
Oh.
Fred.
Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you.
Oh, you're good.
Mine's not very fancy. My plan with him was taking him as a splash into Web Warriors, because being able to get that extra defensive reroll would be some extra defensive tech for him, which would help a lot. But also, he meshes well with what they do. He can come in late in a turn and push your opponent off of points. Like focus on activated people, push them off points, or throw them off points if you got the power to do it. I think he'd be pretty good in that role.
I like it. And he's 3 threat, which Web Warriors really likes.
Yes. Yeah.
And the Web Warrior reroll will be real nice.
Yeah. That defensive tech.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's me.
Well, my roster, I named it a Winter Force in Wakanda. Let that sink in for you. Crimson Dynamo, Ursa Major, Red Guardian, and Darkstar. Then I'm taking Black Panther, Shuri, and Okoye. Then I'm gonna finish it up with She-Hulk, Angela, and Scarlet Witch. So you can go Winter Guard, Wakanda, or A-Force, depending on your matchup. Scarlet Witch, of course, she's just a Mystic Blaster. And then you've got plenty of push shenanigans. I think She-Hulk and Angela can both play real nice into your core 10 for Winter Guard, or, a combination of Wakandans with Red Guardian. I even like Crimson Dynamo in there too. So yeah, I like them a lot. I'm excited for Winter Guard.
Nice. What about you, Brandon? Do you have anything?
I did, but Fred stole my thunder. So,
Oh
yeah.
shit! I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My bad.
I
You
guess
hear-
I think I've taught Fred too much. He's catching on.
He's
hear
also
the-
standing in there.
He's standing there with
watching
the
you.
gun.
Yeah, he was staring at my list.
I just
no.
Yeah, I was looking over your shoulder.
I heard the
Yeah.
hammer cock back, and he's like, "I didn't steal shit." What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's real dangerous for me right now. Yeah, this is a Web Warriors roster. Venom, Miles, Gwen, Black Cat, and then Crimson Dynamo, Darkstar, Red Guardian, and then I finaled it out with Hulkbuster, Shuri, and Malekith.
Oh, Hulkbuster.
Yeah, Hulkbuster. I mean,
Nice.
just on the higher levels, you have so much movement shenanigans. Malekith is just busted, and there's no reason not to play him. And then Shuri, having Shuri, Hulkbuster, and like Red Guardian, and then you can still play like the core. I think that's like 19. Nah, you'd have to play. I mean, you wouldn't be affiliated. You could cut one of those even, but even having that, you could play that with. So you could play like Shuri, Hulkbuster, Red Guardian, Crimson Dynamo, Darkstar. I think the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 19. At 19, no one's staying on a point at any point in time. So.
All right, well, a lot of solid recommendations. You guys had some pretty good stuff. Yeah, Web Warriors was the take home faction from this. It's very interesting. Well, in Brad's place, pour one out for Brad, who's not with us. Fred is going to give us our comic book recommendation this episode. So why don't you go ahead and do that for us, Fred?
Okay, so the Red Guardian, Nikolai Krylenko, is usually known as the Vanguard and not actually as Red Guardian. He's Darkstar's brother, and to Brad's what Brad loves about him very much is that he is a mutant, and he has force field powers. So the issue where he's actually known as Red Guardian, Brad has already recommended. That's Darkstar and the Winter Guard. But he's going to recommend one where he's named as Vanguard. And that is Captain America, issues 352 and 353. Mark Gruenwald and Kieran Dwyer made those issues. Vanguard, Darkstar, and Ursa Major want to defect to the U.S. Captain America goes to the Soviet Union to investigate and runs into the Supreme Soviets, including a different Red Guardian and Crimson Dynamo. My phone keeps dying on me. I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, that's the recommendation is Captain America issues 352 and 353.
All right, well, all those are on Marvel Unlimited, as are all of Brad's recommendations for comics. So if you're not subscribed, I think the subscription fee isn't too crazy. I think you pay and you get a whole year, and they have just about every single comic that Marvel made up on there. So if you want to check it out, get yourself a subscription to Marvel Unlimited, and you'll be able to read it. Finally, for our last segment, if this is your first time listening, I know we've had some new subscribers over the last week or so. Our final segment is Fred's non sequitur recommendation. So, what do you have for us this week, Fred?
Yeah, so I struggled with this one also, and what I'm gonna recommend is a show that She Who Tolerates Living with Me and I have been watching recently, and that is the show Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know that I'm gonna sound like culture, that the culture right now is all saying that Stranger Things is great. And do you know why? It's because Stranger Things is really fucking good. It's really good. it is a show that's set in the 80s, and it does a good job of making it feel like it's set in the 80s. The characters are all very good, but also the acting is excellent, and that's hard to get when you have very young actors. But all of the actors are generally excellent. So I highly recommend this show. It's currently streaming on Netflix, and yeah, go watch it. The reason why I don't I gotta stop doing this. I gotta stop giving the reasons. You guys can figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
I discussed my fun theory on here about what I think Stranger Things is.
I mean,
I
is it
am-
going to
Sure.
give any spoilers? Because if there is,
It's not.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
do
am
not
just-
spoil. Don't
It's,
spoil
there's no,
anything.
there's no,
Okay.
there's no spoilers. I'm
Okay.
just completely convinced that it's just a huge game of D&D.
Oh,
Everything that
could be
I
it.
mean-
happens, I believe that is. I feel like at the end it's gonna come down and they're just gonna have like grown up and they're just gonna like end the game and they're all just gonna like go in their separate ways. And that's how it's gonna. I don't know why, but I've been convinced of that since like season 1, and I haven't kept watching it. But everything I've heard about it and seen, because I've got friends watch it, every time I tell someone, they're like, "Oh, that'd be messed up," and I am convinced that's what it's gonna be.
Man,
And I need
they're-
it out
all
there
of
in the
the bad
world
guys-
so people can like know.
All of the bad guys in the show are named after D&D bad guys, are famous D&D villains.
And they always
So
come
you-
out of nowhere and then go away forever.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
you might be onto something. And the reason why this most recent season is the final season is that there are scheduling difficulties, which is basically what D&D is all about. So
I did not see that.
little bit of meta knowledge.
That'd be so meta, wouldn't it?
That's pretty good.
All right, well, that wraps us up for this week. Thank you guys
Do-
so much for joining us. Oh my
Do I
goodness.
get a recommendation for
Do you
something?
have one?
Well, yeah.
Let's just do an extra, a freebie, a Borka non sequitur recommendation. Go ahead.
Yeah, get in.
You need to check out 1981 film Excalibur. It's excellent. It's one of the best knight movies and telling of the King Arthur story that you're going to find. It also has the timeless beauty Helen Mirren in it. So check that out. 1981 classic movie Excalibur.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well, Brandon, do you have a recommendation? Well, we might as well just round robin.
Yeah, let's just do this.
Play Pokemon card game. It's free online.
Fair. Yep.
Hey, that's a good one.
Play online. You might play against my daughter. She's whipping ass.
She's killing it. She's killing it.
Lunatone's really good.
It's also very good.
All
Very
right.
good.
Well, that wraps us up for this week. Thank you guys again for joining us. Thank you, Borka, for joining us this week and filling in for Brad.
Yeah, thanks, Borka. It's good to talk to you.
Yes, it was very fun.
And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Tell everyone goodbye, Brandon.
Goodbye.